The Lord be with you.
and with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
As Jesus passed by, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the customs post. And he said to the man, "Follow me." And he got up and followed Jesus. While he was at table in his house, many tax collectors and sinners came and sat with Jesus and his disciples. The Pharisees saw this and said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" And he heard this and said, "Those who are well do not need a physician, but the sick do. Go and learn the meaning of the words, 'I desire mercy, not sacrifice.' And I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners." May dear friends, the gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated.
As mentioned a while ago, today we celebrate the feast of Saint Matthew, an apostle and an evangelist. And Saint Matthew is so much associated with the words, "Follow me." This is actually about Saint Matthew. When you heard the word "follow me," it's about the story of Saint Matthew. And we heard this a while ago, that Saint Matthew did not just simply follow Jesus. He followed Jesus immediately. He followed Jesus outrightly, without any question at all, without any doubt, and even without a single word. He followed Jesus immediately. And this is Saint Matthew. And that is why we might be wondering, why did he do that? We might be asking, how did he able to do that? Bakit kaya nagawa niya iyon? Na bigla-bigla na lang sumunod. Take note, he was a tax collector. Ibig sabihin, mayaman, may kaya. Nasa kanya na ang lahat, kumbaga, at that time. But we might be asking why and how did he able to do that? My dear friends, today, the story of Saint Matthew is about calling. Jesus saw him and called him. And when we talk about divine calling, it's always mysterious. We do not know the reason behind it. Sometimes even our own actions, we ended up realizing, why did I do that? How did I able to do that? Bakit nga ba ako sumunod? Bakit nga ba sinabi kong oo? That is exactly what we call divine calling. And divine calling is always mysterious. Only God knows. You know, this is the point of St. Paul in the first reading. When we talk about divine calling, it's definitely mysterious. Why? Why? Yeah, you are able to follow, you're able to do it, you followed immediately because it's divine calling. Why divine? Because there is always grace in His calling. Kaya kung magtatanong tayo, bakit niya nagawa yun? Well, it's not about you. It's actually about Him. Because when God calls you, there will always be grace in His ways of calling us. May binibigay na kalakip na biyaya at grasya kapag tayo'y tinatawag ng Diyos. That is why don't expect that you will fully grasp the meaning of your vocation. Don't expect that you will totally understand your vocation. No. I said a while ago, it's always mysterious. And you might be asking again, why did Christ or God will keep it so mysterious? Bakit nga ba habang buhay magiging mysterious ito? Halimbawa, yung aming bukasyon bilang pagpapare, why it is always mysterious? Kahit sa inyong buhay mag-asawa, it's always mysterious. Bakit kayong dalawa ang pinagsama? You don't even understand bakit kayo magkasama. Hindi naman kami compatible sa isa't isa. Well, that's the way of God. He will always keep it mysterious. And don't worry about that mystery. Huwag kayong mag-alala. But rather thank God that there is something mysterious in your life. You know why? Because sometimes or even most of the time, that something that is so mysterious would end up to be the sustaining element in your life. Huwag kayong mag-alala kung hindi nyo nauunawaan ang lahat. But rather thank God for that. Because that mystery will actually serve to be the sustaining element in your journey. You do not know what's in there. Hindi mo alam kung ano ang maaabutan mo doon. But keep that mystery intact. That will keep you going in your journey. Kahit sa buhay namin, we are always invited to keep that mysterious intact. Kaya nga, every day we always pray for this calling. I invite you as well to do that. Sa buhay mag-asawa, sa buhay pagiging, sabihin natin, single blessedness. Hindi ibig sabihin dahil may asawa ka na, nakapagkasal ka na, tapos na. Even on our part, it doesn't mean that once we receive the gift of ordination, that's it. No. The more you should pray for it, the more that you should pray, the more that you will strive to keep that mystery intact. Because believe that when we talk about divine calling, it may be so mysterious, but definitely it is full of grace. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Sige lang. Right now, you might have your own questions. You might be asking God, why? Why am I like this? Why am I here? Don't worry. Just keep going and keep praying. Definitely, behind that mystery, there is full of grace waiting for you. And this is exactly what happened to Saint Matthew. Again, as I have said, without a single word, he followed Jesus immediately because he believed that God is calling him. And behind that calling, there is always that mystery. You know, if there is something mystery or something that kind of element of his mystery in the calling of Saint Matthew, it's about the mysterious way of calling of Jesus to him. Napaka-misteryoso ang pagtawag sa kanya. In what sense? It's about embracing the full humanity of Saint Matthew. Inako ni Kristo ang kanyang kahinaan. Inako ni Kristo ang kanyang pagkakasala. Take note, Matthew is a tax collector, a public sinner, kumbaga. But when Jesus called him, Jesus embraced his sinfulness, embraced his weaknesses, embraced his full humanity. In other words, it's about accepting his own human nature. And that is why no wonder that Saint Matthew, when he wrote the gospel also, he is so much associated with humanity of Christ. Kaya kung titignan niyo po dito, we have here the four evangelists in this Basilica. Saint Mark, symbolized as a lion. Okay, we also have Saint Luke, as a tamaraw, Saint John as an eagle, and here you are, Saint Matthew, symbolized as an angel. The only evangelist, the only with a symbol of a human nature, tao kumbaga, symbolizing his concern for humanity. He's symbolizing that despite the sinfulness of men, Matthew will never give up. You know, for us Dominicans, the Gospel of Matthew is also so important. You know why? Because our founder, Saint Dominic, his favorite gospel is the Gospel of Saint Matthew. Because Dominic also has this kind of concern for humanity. And no wonder, in the life of Saint Dominic, he encountered this public sinner, this person who never believed in God, an innkeeper. And in the story, he was able to convert that innkeeper. It's about embracing human weaknesses, embracing our own sinfulness, and yet do not giving up to become a better person. Again, following Jesus does not mean that we have to be perfect. Following the story of Saint Matthew, as we are being reminded to follow Jesus sincerely, let us imitate Saint Matthew's mindset, wherein for him, it's about embracing, owning your own limitation, and yet not giving up to become a better person.